Hello there everybody and welcome to the New Esports 2018 Season 2 Split Sunday matchup as Piping Esports seeks to take the victory off of Kryo's Esports. Joining me on the casting desk tonight is the self-proclaimed best top laner this season so far.
Who dares defy my
What up,
will?
boys? It's your fellow caster here, GVG in the house, ready for this exciting action ready to come into us tonight.
Absolutely. How you doing, my man?
Doing rather well, Blaze. How are you?
I'm doing excellent tonight. Ready to cast some League of Legends. Right off the bat, Jarvan, Fizz, bans right off the table, Ado Kryos. Both these teams very new to the league, not making their first debut right until now. What might we expect?
Well, if they're banning Jarvan, either Blight's very strong in him, or they just won't go well against their team comp. So I would imagine that Rengar is probably going to get maybe something like Warwick, maybe a tankier jungle.
Definitely thinking something of a caster-ish support for Tyrannos in the bottom lane. Leona is not a very common ban, so it is a possibility. Callista Hover and a possible lock-in. No, not going to go with that. Hindsight's picking up the Tristana.
Tristana's always a good pick. She's always going to be meta. Just too good of a champ.
Definitely one of the strongest AD carries sticking through on this one. Just a really strong champion overall with self-peel for an AD carry. Good range, good damage, great scaling. Just couldn't ask for any better.
Shen, one of my personal favorite top laners. Always there to hit him with the ulti to save somebody's life.
Absolutely. Shen being a very reliable tank. All stages of the game as well, especially in the late game though, when he starts to scale up a little bit. Not his most well-known maneuver, but can do a pretty cool flash taunt to pick up kills, and to follow up that possible move is the Sejuani coming out of Rengar.
Ooh, is it going to be the Sejuani with the Shen shield for the engage? The big plays. Oh, the Ivern. Haven't seen that here yet. Always going to be first with new team.
Oriana. Okay. Piping. I like what they got so far. They have a good control mage. They have some damage. They have some scaling. I want to see a little more wave clear on the tank, maybe.
The Annie pick for Aquatic Dark.
It's a pick we haven't seen in a while.
Can't say we've seen that in a while. Or is it a personal favorite of mine? Not a huge fan of that champ. Always stops me from having fun.
Well, sometimes the most simple things are the most effective here. Kryos staying true to that here with the Annie and Sejuani. That is a very scary combo between Tibbers and Glacial Prison. We'll see how well that they're able to execute it, as the bans are looking pretty green so far.
I like the Twitch ban there. They have a pretty beefy front line. They don't want to let them play Twitch and just sit behind them.
So with the Twitch ban coming through, what other AD carries do we think might be good for Halsey?
Well, Xayah would benefit pretty well here. I can see a Jhin maybe. Misfortune is another high possibility.
Ooh, a Misfortune would definitely sound like a good idea. Ezreal may have not been so bad either, but Piping are going to take away that one.
Maybe we can pull out a Varus here.
We have seen other teams, such as Frost Esports, pick up the Varus to relative success, I would say, so it is absolutely a possibility, but the Ashe is the lock-in instead.
Did not see that one coming, not at all.
I think it's a really good addition to the team comp, though.
It's another form of engage, which is definitely something that's always nice to have on your team. Oh, the Trundle.
Getting in the tank, presumably in the top lane, could go support. That's not a lock-in. Yeah, there we go. That looks... Well, getting trolled here. Piping Esports are certainly going to change it to a more conventional support, such as Janny here from Mimo in the bottom lane. Not looking so bad on the Piping Esports comp. They have some tanks. Don't have the greatest wave clear, but They have the Tristana Jan lane, and we'll definitely have to see how that plays out against an Ashe. Tahm Kench? Tahm Kench it is!
I think the Tristana Janna wins here personally, at least later in the game.
I would definitely second that notion as well. Tristana Janna can kind of just sit tight and farm, and if the Ashe Tahm Kench do indeed decide to go aggressive, it can just be here's a shield, throw some autos down, and Tahm Kench can only mitigate so much damage.
Yeah, if Tahm Kench ever tries to just run up and get the eat off either, Tristana could just always W away.
Absolutely an option. However, that's where the stun might come in useful for Tyrannos on this Tahm Kench up pick. Jumping away can only do so much if you're getting licked to death.
Yep, that is a high possibility. I would go for the stun before eat every time on Tahm.
All in all, looking at the team comps overall, who's you liking more?
I like Pipings, but I don't see how they're going to be able to get this Tristana ball in there, besides just for normal throwing it in. Overall team fight, I would say that Kryo has the advantage. They just have so much lockdown. If they stack their CC correctly, it'll just be a good old 5-for-0 in the team fights.
In the best case scenario, but yeah, if you have the long range Enchanted Crystal Arrow onto a carry like the Orianna, like the Tristana, maybe even on a squishier target like the Ivern as well, wouldn't be a bad option. Get the Tippers, get the Glacial Prison there, and theoretically at least, there's the one team fight. But if that were to happen, how exactly do Piping respond?
I would say they want to make sure that Trundle takes the arrow and then tries to take the Glacial Prison too. But that's asking for a lot from one man. They could make, I believe, Ivern's Daisy, I think, can block arrow.
I don't believe so. I believe that it is counted as an object in the game, and like a jungle camp. So therefore it wouldn't make any sense for it to be able to block the arrow. It would be cool if it were to, but I don't think it's coded that way.
I haven't played Ivern in so long. The mechanics are kind of lost on me for him.
Definitely a unique champion, even for a game as vast of League of Legends in itself. But looking at it, with both these teams in the early game, who do we think is going to be making more moves?
I think that the Kryo Phoenix will want to be making more moves early game because they have the Annie stun they can take mid lane. They have Sejuani Q. Shen can set up Sejuani ganks. Ashe and Tahm Kench with their slows combined can probably set up a Sejuani gank pretty easy. On Piping, Ivern has to kind of do everything except for bot lane, really. Bot lane's the only one that can really set him up with Janna knockup. I guess Trundle can with Pillar, but Shen can also just dash through that.
Fair enough. I am going to point out a smart summoner spell choice by Gawian in the mid lane here, taking the cleanse. Little reason should need to be said there, but Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Tibbers, Glacial Prison, there's more than enough reason for you to take cleanse over more of a generic, let's just take it, summoner spell like heal or like barrier instead.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to save him early game.
Finally, we'll be launching straight into the loading screen. See what runes may or may not surprise us these players have taken. All in all, I think for the most part, things are relatively stabilized as preseason's over now, and relatively speaking, we know what to expect.
Yeah, it's pretty much flushed out now what most people take on most champions. The experimentation is still there, but not many people proceed to experiment.
Yeah, triple area on the side of Piping Esports, but it makes sense on all of their champions.
I don't know how I feel about the Sejuani with Grasp.
Hmm.
I feel like it would be much more to take Aftershock. Especially on a champion that has to dive straight into their team to do damage.
Yeah, I could definitely see Aftershock working wonders here. Nonetheless, though, Aftershock or Grasp, we'll see which one of these teams can do exactly that to the other. Piping Esports on the blue side, Kryo's Phoenix coming in hot on the red side here. One of these teams is going to be able to pick up the Game 1 victory. Who will it be? Type in the good old hashtag PIPWin if you think Piping Esports will take it, or if you think that Kryo's Phoenix will be taken. Put in your KPS in the chat with the hashtag before it as we load onto the raft. I think we might have a pause on our hands. Just a suspicion. But whenever someone's in the middle of the base, that's usually not a good sign.
No, they're here. They just
Oh,
reconnected.
they're here. Alright. I'm so used to pauses by now, I fully expect them.
Wouldn't be Duo Esports without a pause.
Wouldn't be Duo Esports without a pause. Actually, wait. Am I seeing things? Is that a stopwatch on Tom Kench at level 1? Huh.
Oh, and there's the pause.
Alright, well, while the pause is going on, as short or as long as it may be, stopwatch right off the bat. What do you think about that?
I would imagine he's taking that role for the decreased cooldown on Flash, is it?
No, that's the Zanya's. Well, you could do it for that as well, mind you, but something that's an interesting start for Tom Kench.
Could help with tower diving early if they were trying to do that. Maybe bring Sejuani down early, and that way they can use that to juggle the aggro of the tower.
How early are you thinking they might tower dive, if they do?
Honestly, as soon as Sejuani hits level 6, they could probably tower dive bot lane. It'd be a little risky, but they might be trying to go for the big dick plays.
Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. Looks like few DCs coming in here and there, but all in all, it looks of it, neither team ambitious enough to go with an invade. Both of them going with very standard starts. Few wards being tossed around as well. And also while we're with Iron choices, a refillable potion on Ashe. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
Well, Tristana's probably not going to be poking too much, so I would go, yeah, refillable would be smarter item choice. Well, it's smart that Tristana went the triple pot because Ashe is going to constantly be throwing those W's out. Tom is going to be throwing those Q's out all the time. So she's going to need the extra sustain there.
We'll do is 3, 2, 1. We're finally out of the pause and right back into the game, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see exactly which one of these teams is able to make the better moves early on.
It's like they're all trying to cover their jungle entrances. Nobody wants to be invaded.
No, I don't think either team has a good invade comp either. It's very, very risky to invade with Sejuani early on, and it doesn't make sense for Piping to invade. They have Jan and Ivern. Those champions don't do damage in the early game, so it wouldn't make sense, but still definitely good to be safe than sorry.
It's like Sejuani is getting her first buff done now. Ivern did the old flash instant. So he's already on his way to his red.
Indeed. Kryos make it into lane in time. Only lose a single CS on the way. Doesn't look like there won't be a whole lot of action out of these teams in the early game, so let's look at the mid lane here for a second. Who really wins that matchup? Because we haven't seen Annie in a while.
I say it all comes down to jungler pressure. I think it can go either way. It all depends on, I would say, skill level as well as whose jungler wants to help out more.
All right.
I would say it's probably first one to get the kill.
Tongue Lash, not quite being able to land for the bottom lane, but while we're on Cell in the mid lane matchup here, skill level, sure, but both these champions are relatively simple to play. Annie, not the hardest champion in the world to play mechanically, nor there is Orianna, so if we're looking at raw damage output, we think that the Annie has a greater offense, or that the Orianna has a greater defense.
I think the Annie has the good offense just because she has that stun up every 4 spells. It's always nice to have a stun on standby.
Definitely not bad at all. I have noticed sometimes myself, whenever Annie is a pickup, does make farming a little interesting. Do you keep the stun for your opponent, or you do bring it out for the wave? Because early on, CSing can be a little tricky, and you do have that refund on the Q from Annie. So it is a little bit of a, do I do it like this, or do I do it like that?
I would say it all just comes down on, do you think you're going to be engaging anytime soon? If not, you don't have a need to keep the stun. Plus, it's not too hard for her to rebuild the stun in the middle of a gank. They can usually get up pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly indeed, and both these teams playing very safe in the early game, not willing to make any giant steps forward to try and make something happen. Pretty calm all in all. In the mid lane, Rengar may be looking for the gank. There's the stun, there's the Altic Exalt, but it's not going to be able to land automatically. There's the flail, but the shield's going to repel most of the damage on that. It's not going to be Rengar taken low, but the chase is not there, as Kryo are able to walk out.
It was good positioning on Ivar Fight there to help his mid laner when he was in trouble.
Might just go back in. There's the flash Q. There's the cleanse and the flash right afterwards. The stun to follow afterwards. Pipen are looking for it. The first blood to come right on to Rengar.
Too many apples in one basket with that play.
Definitely a little bit of greed possibly coming out for Kryos, expending a good chunk of their resources to try and make that happen, and it does backfire on them. Looking back at the play, though, do you think that Orion need to expend both summoner spells?
Yeah, because I believe she had to get out of the stun before the Sejuani Q landed, or that might have led to her death. So she had to use the cleanse to get out of the Annie stun, and then flash, or the Sejuani Q would have hit her, which then could have led to the stun, which then would have been her death. Pretty cut and dry.
Fair enough indeed. Arctic Assault knockup is pretty scary if it does land on its target. Either way, it's 1-up for Piping in the early game here. 6 minutes on the clock. Everyone looks just about dead even in farm.
The old harass going on in bot lane.
A little bit back and forth. Sigray walks up for the minion and gets taken out for it. Shadow able to pick up the kill.
Shen's playing his matchup very well. He knows what his champion does and how he can use it against a full ASIC attack only champion.
Yeah, definitely good by Shadow to notice when to go in there and when to pick up the kill on the greetings. Sigray, not the wisest move to go up for the minions. Sometimes you just have to accept defeat and that you cannot get the minion. Otherwise, the situation can escalate. So the tornado comes through in the bottom lane, and there's some good zone coming out of Piping in the bottom half. looking at the tempo of the game so far, do you think either of these teams might make a move for the Infernal Dragon?
I would say that it would most likely be piping, just because their bot lane is constantly pushing. The mid laner has a kill up on theirs, as well as Ivern has a kill up on Sejuani, and their mid laner has a CS lead as well as in the assist. So I would say at this moment in time they're just a bit stronger in the gold lead.
Definitely a realistic possibility if they choose to go for it. Blight is on the middle of his tippers. Appears to have been wolfed by Aquatic Dark in the middle lane. Not able to get some good damage for the kill, especially with Blight there to cover just in case.
That would be even more beneficial for them to go for it, just because that's a big team fight ulti down.
Actually looks like both dominators are going on this one. The Subjugate's doing so much damage to Shadow. Might get taken out here. Zaguri has the flash and will use it. Back towards the bottom half in the jungle here. The Shockwave reels in the Tom Kench as they're looking for the catfish on this one. Catch of the day. A few more hits to do it. There's the command attack. It won't be able to get the kill. Buster shots the boar up against the wall. It's a good response from Kryos underneath their own turret, but is it good enough? They're taken low, taken out as the turret aggro goes back and forth. Piping beautifully working underneath the turret to pick up 2 more kills.
And there's the dragon. There should be at least.
There's the Infernal Dragon as well. No contest coming out of Kryos Phoenix here. Gonna have to ask your thoughts on what just happened right there, GVG. How exactly were Piping able to reel it out so beautifully?
Well, they all three just really gathered up there right in that tight corner for the Orianna ult, which really, that helped seal the fight right there. Got half health, about half of them. And then at that point it was just cleaning up, and then they had good aggro rotation with the turret. Made the dive nice and clean. Nobody had to die for it, just some free kills.
Free kills indeed for Piping Esports here, looking to have a solid performance in the early game here. 4-1, giving themselves a near 2,000 gold lead. But as I say that, Aquatic Dark goes for the play in the mid lane. The Flash Tipper's not able to do enough damage. Not able to get both summoners, but is able to force Gavian out of lane. Looks like we're heading right back towards the top lane. Rengar is up in here. Shen gets taken low on this one. There's the Glacial Prison. There's the damage, but Trundle's pretty tanky on this one. Not even really taken below half HP. As Zaguri is just able to walk away from that one. Would you say a little bit of hesitation out of Kryos there?
It's just come to the point where Shen now loses. Once Trundle gets to his ulti, and usually once he gets Sheen, that's when Shen starts losing the matchup. And I think they should have thrown Sejuani should definitely thrown her ulti out there way earlier.
But is the matchup lost for the Shen?
If he plays it right, he can come back. But as of right now, he has to really watch when he engages on fights, or he can end up just losing the trade. Pretty haphazardly.
So is it on Shadow to play well, or is he Gray to play poorly?
Honestly, I think it would be the Shadow would have to play it poorly. Oh.
Hold on there for a second. Looks like they're going to try and kill him on this one. It's a tanky Shen. Might just be tanky enough to get it as well. As the champion health bar and triple in fact armor items are enough to allow Shadow to get out of that one. Might just be in trouble all over again. Goes for the chomp on the turret. Might have just let him get away. There's a taunt as well. Shadow still not dead from this one. but it's not going to matter as Piping make it look all too easy. Get the turret right afterwards. Aquatic Darks rotating up, but rotating up for what exactly? Might just be there to defend the turret, and they keep pushing. Looks like they will back off. Piping not looking for a second. Uh-oh. Tigray! Almost taken out by the Annie there.
That was a very good tower dive by them. They knew what they could do, and they're really pushing their lead with it.
Absolutely, the gold lead. Pretty big here, 4,000. Halsey throwing out the Enchanting Crystal Hour just to check if the Rift Herald is being done. That definitely says the Kryos are a little afraid right now. Actually, wait. Do you agree with that? I don't think you would, but do you agree with throwing the arrow that much?
No, I don't think it was worth wasting the arrow. The Trundle was nearly dead. Ivan was about half. Orna was I didn't think they needed to check. I think they could have safely said it. They had to reset after that.
Definitely afraid of what Piping could be doing, but not exactly what they are doing necessarily. They're able to take out the Control Ward, and for the most part this game has been very defensive as most of the actions happened in the top half. Might just continue there. There's the pylon towards Shadow. Z-Gray looking for another kill with the level up on this one. Shadow trying to run away, and Z-Gray will stop the chase.
Ooh. So everybody's trying to group up in the bot lane.
They are trying to do so. Glacial Prison up, Flash Timbers, but the Tornado and a Mimo. Perfect timing on that one, able to completely stop the engage.
That was just a perfectly timed W on Tristana's part.
Absolutely, and Piping responding very well to situations that Kryos are trying to make, and I'm going to ask you, well, might just get back to that in a second, as they're still looking for more. Another tornado comes through, not going to be able to land onto its target now, as Piping are fully aware of what's going on.
Besides, just really needs to throw her ulti out.
Does decide to go through it, it's going to land on towards Blight. The arrow right on Tristana, but the three-man shockwave looks good. It's going to be Halsey doing damage on the back half. Not able to do enough, though. The rocket jump forward and the reset. A double kill for Hindsight here. Looking for more on the low health Ash. Not going to be able to pick it up, as it's going to be Tyrannos that gets put in trouble. Shadows to follow right afterwards. One more hit would do it. Looks like they won't be able to pick it up, but it's still 3-0 in favor of Piping.
Well, that certainly was a tone setter right there.
Definitely a tone setter, to put it one way.
So then they don't even need everybody. They can win 4v5s now.
No, they don't. And now they will also pick up the Mountain Dragon to go nicely with the Infernal that they've already acquired as well. I'm not sure how to feel about this matchup so far. Piping, reading Kryo's Phoenix really well, or are they just responding to the situation strongly as a whole?
I think they're just showing that they have... How would I put this? They're showing them that they can read what they're doing, and they can do it better than they can.
So Piping Esports are one step ahead of the game?
Yes. That would be the easiest way to put it.
Do you think that they're clairvoyants? It might just be, as they see every move coming before it already happens. A tornado in the bottom lane I'm not going to stop talking about until the game's over. That was nuts.
It was very good.
On the side of Kryo's Phoenix, they've tried every move in the book. What might they have to do next in order to start making stuff happen?
Honestly, they just have to start playing on the defensive. They keep trying to make these big plays, and they just keep losing more and more for them. Just chill back, farm up, try to lessen the gold lead.
Definitely wouldn't be a bad option, but hindsight going underneath the turret, no fear on this one. Blows him up with the buster shot, as in the mid lane, Aquatic Doris looking for his first kill, and Galleon brings the bear in. May not be what he wanted, hover right back to bot lane. Hindsight's getting punished on this one. The shutdown going over to Rengar. Maymo will be able to get away, but there's still a kill finally on the board. The third one for Kryo's Phoenix. Wait a second. Annie is running away from this, but has nowhere to go. Blight, actually godlike now, 7-0-2 on this Ivor, and he's picked up the kills all underneath our noses.
That Ivern is definitely scary right now. Those shields are pretty massive.
They are pretty massive, and I have to feel that there was a bit of an overstay by Aquatic Dark in the mid lane. Now it's starting to punish Kryos here. Piping, pick up the third target of the game. Looks like they're looking for another kill in this one. No way for the Catfish to get out of this one. As a 8-0-2 Ivern. We have not seen this in a long time. As another middle turret might just fall victim to piping here. A few more hits would do it. Not even 20 minutes on the clock, and it looks like they're not stopping.
They definitely know that they have the advantage.
Absolutely no. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is up for Halsey if he decides to throw it to try and make a play. Might just have been exactly what you said. Keep the tempo a lot slower. Piping are able to do what they want to do here. How much control would you give over to them?
Honestly, at this point in the game, I think it's up to Piping. They have to throw it at this point. They have the game well in hand. They have a nice, almost 8,000 gold lead.
So it's their game to lose.
Basically, yeah.
So the only thing that Kryo's Phoenix can hope on is faith. What you're telling me, the turret will go down as the fight happens right afterwards. A good monsoon to come flying through and towards this one. Kryo's taking low on this one, but not taken out. The shockwave's gonna reel in two from the back half. Adagawian looking to try and get the kill, but not able to do so. There's the command attack on towards him. All that's left up is Shen. One more hit would do it. Mimo picks up the kill as Rengar limps away on barely an HP, and Piping are beautifully playing this game.
Oh, they are just running, steamrolling them with these team fights.
And they're not even messy team fights either. They're just really calculated. They've only suffered 3 deaths the whole game so far. Not even 22 minutes in, already taking the middle inhibitor.
They picked this game up and are running away with it.
Absolutely, and I tell you what's next. I think Baron Asher couldn't be any better at the moment.
I think they'd have to reset before Baron, but I don't see why they wouldn't go and get. They'd probably I'd say take this top tower, then go to Dragon. Or reset, get Dragon, then go to Baron, because then That's another Inferno. Then you really just are going to be able to run away with team fights.
Abyssal Voyage at Eternos. Kryos are still looking to try and make the play, but they just might have gotten 2 of their men killed on this one. One more shot would do it. The red buff tick not able. Oh, it will be able to get the kill. Rocket Jump does get cancelled, though. Another shutdown going to Rengar on this one. Glacial Persian will get flashed away. And when all said and done, it is a 1-for-1.
It was good. They got the shutdown on Tristana. Yeah, they lost one, but they got some more gold for their team.
Absolutely, but it's going to take a lot more of those mistakes. Enchanted Crystal Hour will only do so much. You cannot stun up Daisy, and that's what's doing the damage to you. As the shield monsters start whacking on Halsey, got absolutely nowhere to go, no chance to get out. Now 9-0-6 on this Ivern.
The recall right in their face. Ugh. That's a feels bad moment.
Oh, absolutely. I would hate being the Ashe in that situation. You can't do anything. You can't kite, you can't run. They have quicker movement speed than you, and they have the 3rd dragon in the game as well.
Now I'd say you just run over, you either bait Baron, or you can just do it. Or, hey, let's say they may want to shove it down mid. Oh, nope, they're going for the Baron.
I would just do the Baron. I don't think there's really a point in baiting it. I mean, you could say they've learned, but I do want to say that enough fear from Piping Esports has been installed in Kryo's Phoenix Spoon where they are afraid of their own jungle right now, and a Death Bush is much more realistic to happen there than around the Baron pit.
I think Trundle's going to be getting the free tower bot lane here.
We'll do exactly that, picking up the free turret. Now this turret's the focus. The taunt will not be able to land. Hindsight's able to get out of that one as a 4-man Shockwave is going to reel them all in. One more hit to do it. Takes out Aquatic Dark. A few more hits to follow. Now the turret the focus. Kryos, how long do you want to stay there? They go for the taunt engage, but get taken out right after. There's a rocket jump forward. 2 hits onto Halsey. A few more right after onto Tyrannos. There's the stopwatch. It only looks so good. A double kill. Coming in for Hindsight is Piping. Make it look all too simple. Now the chase on towards Sejuani. Making sure that she's on the dinner table for this one. And Piping Esports, ladies and gentlemen, have absolutely rhythmically dismantled Kryo's Phoenix. 25 minutes on the clock, 23-4. Making sure to not get killed by the enemy on that one. Game 1 going over to Piping. What are you feeling, GVG?
I mean, they got their lead and they just kept pressing it and pressing it and pressing it and never took their boot off their throat. They just kept going and going. That's exactly what you like to see.
Exactly. Clean, consistent, as few mistakes as they could have possibly have made. Really, I have to say, Piping played that excellently. Let's start to look at some of the numbers here. See exactly how high their damage chart is. I don't think it's going to be that high, but let's skip straight to the graph to see exactly what's going on.
Look at that Tristana damage. That's both Tristana and Ori. Right about the same amount of damage. It really just both were cleaning up in those team fights.
Definitely the case. 15k coming in for both of them here. Rounding it pretty close to 16k as well in a 25-minute match. Very strong performances. However, what won them the game, well, each damage is really good. It's standard across the board. And I'm going to point this out here for a moment. 7,000 damage on the Janna even. Definitely members of Piping were all over the place, making moves, staying proactive at all times in the game. It was more so the teamwork as a whole that made that magic happen.
Oh yeah, they all knew exactly what they were going to do in fights. They all backed each other up really well.
Just proves to you that teamwork makes the dream work.
Hey, there you go.
There we go. Just takes you a few tries in this one. Looking at another stat here, as there was a lot of it. I'd say let's look at the healing done to see exactly how much might have been healed, and whoa, that's a lot of healing done.
Whew.
8,000 on both the Janna and the Trundle. Subjugate doing work, taking the lead in the healing amount, and Janna Monsoon, well, relatively simple, but 8,000 out of Monsoons is still a pretty good profit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Scrolling down to damage taken to see who might have just taken the most damage for the team. No surprise here. Trundle once again leading the board, but not taking first place as Rengar takes that one for himself.
Oh, he was always jumping just straight into them every fight.
Mm-hmm. From the case, and let's look at what one might say Army Overlord's favorite here, ladies and gentlemen, the words placed. See some good numbers around, don't you?
Definitely.
20 wards coming in for the Janna, half of that coming in for the Orianna, and well, it wasn't so bad either. 17 coming out of the Tom Kench for Kryos.
You could definitely tell that Janna was there were wards all over that bot lane. All the time. They did not want to be ganked. They wanted to know everything that was going on around bot lane.
Absolutely the case. Piping Esports, 25 minutes in, take down Kryos Phoenix. Can they do it again, or will Kryos be able to bring it to a tie, bring out the draw, and go 1-1? Find out, as we'll be right back. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this methodical series between Piping Esports and Kryo's Phoenix. Welcome to Game 2. Will Kryo's Phoenix be able to bring it back to the 1-1? Do you have my answer, GVG?
Honestly, if they play that last game, no.
Who dares defy my will?
I don't know.
Definitely got to change it up.
How do they have to change it up, though?
They can't let them get early leads. Because as we just saw, Piping is really good at just keep going with those early leads. And just keep going with them and keep pushing and pushing until it's the end of the game.
So what exactly should we see from last game on this game's ban list?
Honestly, that Ivan was pretty disgusting.
Worth it to toss a ban on it, though?
Oh, there's a Trundle gone, so... Trundle was very good at split pushing and just taking turrets. That's what Trundle's there for, and that's what he's good at.
Absolutely, and so far we've seen Trundle to have very good success in the Duo Esports 2018 season. We've heard a little bit of controversy on how good his ganks or how good his laning actually is, but he has proven to be a very effective champion in all stages of the game.
Oh yeah, I might say that they might even ban Tristana here because she seemed pretty comfortable on it, and there it was. Hindsight was pretty comfortable on that Tristana, and really, she helped press the game lead.
Impure fool.
Absolutely, one could say the hindsight was 2020 coming out of Piping that game. And the Ezreal that managed to sneak through this stage of the bans might just be coming in for Kryo's Esports this time around.
Ezreal is one of those usual pick or ban ADCs like Vayne. He's pretty high up there on the tier list.
Pretty high up indeed, but Orianna and Ivern possibly might be the thing, and it will be the lock-in for Piping Esports, giving the audience exactly what they want.
Ooh, the Kayn pickup for Rengar.
I'll see how the Kayn pickup goes, but I am much more in favor of this Cassiopeia lock-in from Aquatic Dark. We have seen what Cassiopeia can do, just absolutely running through mid laners. And I think that is definitely something that Kryos have going for them this game that they didn't in the last.
Yeah, they definitely need to pick some winning lanes. Because Piping just went from laning phase to just team fights, and it was just win non-stop.
Absolutely, and the mistakes they made weren't even big mistakes, barely even small mistakes. Misfortune on the ban list this time around. You mentioned them last time, and it's not going to be seen this time around.
I'm curious as to why they banned Misfortune when they already have alcohol. That's an odd ban.
A little interesting. Misfortune support? I don't know. I'm not a giant fan of that ban either.
Bringing it back from what, last season when Misfortune support was a thing?
I mean, that's kind of, unless it's unprepared at a Piping, which after how last game went, I wouldn't imagine they'd be unprepared. So maybe that's alluding to something that they have, or that they're going to have. Maybe, maybe a Zyra? They could be going full on plants here. Zyra, Ivern, bring it out, Piping, show me what you got. Literally, that's the only reason I can think as to why you would ban Misfortune. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
You never know. Might not have been paying attention and just like, hey, ban the Misfortune. We don't want to see that against us in bottom lane.
May not. Hindsight hovering over something right now. We're about to find out exactly what. 3 seconds on the clock for Piping Esports. It's going to be the Janna once again.
Janna, always a great support. Being able to just heal your team. A great disengage with the Tornado. The W slow. The shield for your AD carry. Just a great support all around. Especially when we get to these team games.
Absolutely, and a powerful lane, dare I say more powerful than last time around, bringing out a Janna and a Twitch instead of Janna Tristana. What do you feel is the stronger bot lane of the two?
I'd have to throw it to, say, probably the Twitch and Janna, just because Twitch gets he gets the attack speed steroid from his Q as well as the attack damage steroid from his ultimate.
Well, we're looking at steroids. Ivan Orn has made it through the very end of pick ban phase. Oh my.
Ooh. Always a scary opponent to go up against his top lane. A W proc and the
everything
proc on it is just so much damage.
I say the everything. Orn's a stupid champion. I'm throwing it out there right there. He is stupid. He is way too tanky. You cannot kill that thing. As long as you go even in lane. You don't have to win lane. All you do, you have to just go even, and you are unkillable. You get some items, you put the enemy team at least a little behind, and you're not going to die. It is ridiculously stupid, and I feel that looking at these two team comps, while I definitely like what Kryo are putting down on the floor so far, I'm loving what Piping got.
Oh, I'm definitely going to have to go with Piping on who's going to win this match. Their team fight is just going to be disgusting, with Ivern ulti to start the fight, with the Orianna follow, and then the Twitch just being able to sit back there and throw away while Orange knocking everybody up with his ultimate.
No, I'm gonna agree with you absolutely. There is a lot of base stats that are looking gorgeous for Piping here. Ornn, in general, that's an automatic check. They have a really good bot lane. They've gotten rid of the cloudy concerns that I had about the Arvin before. It's definitely proven to be effective. However, looking at Kryo's Esports, what exactly did they have?
They got peak potential, definitely, with the Blitzcrank. And if the Kane goes Shadow, he could possibly try to sneak up and either blow up the Janna or blow up the Twitch, but I don't think he could be able to get both. Because I'm sure Ivan's going to be waiting there with the shield, so he might not even be able to if both Ivan and Janna are watching with their shields.
Definitely a tricky situation, but what I like the Cryos have that Piping necessarily don't. So they have a little bit more. I want to say a little bit more, I mean a very little, but they have a little bit more wave clear. It's not big, we're not talking Sivir, we're not talking Lux here at all, but we are talking a little bit more than exactly what Piping have. There's barely, Twitch doesn't wave clear, Janna's not going to wave clear, Orianna, you have your one combo and that's it, and the rest of the champions don't really feel notorious for the wave clear, at least not safely. So I do feel if Cryos are able to get an advantage, say in the mid lane, for example, with Aquatic Dark, on this Cassiopeia pickup, definitely wins lane against the Orianna as long as she knows what to do. Try to put the Orianna behind a little bit, and suddenly you have an incredible siege with the Blitzcrank, Yorick, and Cassio.
Oh yeah. If they try to engage, you got the Cassio ulti just to stop them in their tracks. You can go for the pig potential on the tower, trying to land the Blitzcrank hooks. And Yorick with his Maiden could just shove those towers real quick.
Absolutely good possibility for Cryos, but a possibility is exactly that, a possibility. It is not guaranteed to happen at all. What I do feel is guaranteed to happen, and I want your input on this, of course, GVG, is top laners aren't going to be killing each other. Now, are they?
I can see the Ornn killing the Yorick. And once Yorick hits level 6, he could possibly kill Ornn, because then you get the passive proc from Maiden, which does health, I think it's percentage max health damage.
Believe so.
So if he can get that started proccing on the Ornn, then he has a chance to kill him, but early game, Ornn definitely has a chance to kill Yorick.
Would you be familiar with the matchup by chance?
I've played it once or twice.
Alright, so I have to ask you, saying out once or twice is something over nothing to put it one way. When you're charging with Ornn, do you get interrupted by the Yorick wall?
You talking about Ornn's E or his W?
Ornn's charge.
So okay, so yeah, no, it does. It blows up. It insta blows up the Yorick wall. It does get stopped, but it insta blows it up also. So you can't really use Yorick W as a way to keep Ornn in, because he can just insta blow it up. He doesn't even have to use any basic attacks on it.
So in that sense, Ornn has the advantage over the Yorick.
Oh yeah, you can't, as Yorick, you're not going to be able to keep the Ornn trapped. You're going to have to just rely on either your jungler coming in and keeping him CC'd, or just raw damage.
Or just raw damage. Raw damage might just be the answer here, but either way, Game 2 between Piping Esports, this time on the red side, Kryo's Phoenix, this time on the blue side. Last time it was a 1-0 in convincing fashion from Piping Esports. Will Kryos be able to bring it to the 1-1, or are they going to get doubled down by Piping? We'll see how it's going to go, as I think we're going to see an invade.
Oh, this is definitely going to be an invade. The level 1 plays, here it comes.
There's no way the Piping don't see it coming. There's the Blitzcrank walking up. The Twitch, he's got his tail wagging out. There's the flash, but it will be dodged away from hindsight.
That was a pretty telegraph talk, not gonna lie. It was good flash by Twitch.
Yeah.
Definitely. Always better to waste the flash than get hooked.
Definitely the case, but it is the win in that situation coming out for Kryos. So their flash on the support versus flash on the AD carry does go in their favor in that regard, which means the gang pressure isn't as strong out of Kryos coming into the early game.
Oh yeah, no. If I was the king, I'd be hovering near bot with, because Twitch's only escape is flash, so he's gonna have to rely on the Janna tornado, or he's just gonna get hooked and destroyed.
See how well Kryos are able to execute exactly that here. The red buff will go over to Rengar in the jungle. We resume to the early game. Wait, you didn't finish it off! Alright, there you go. Woo. I'm telling you, whenever these players try and do the cool guys don't look at explosions thing, it never works out.
No, jungler camps can't be reduced under 1 health with any damage over time.
Yeah.
Spells you get from your jungler items. Cinderhawk can't kill it.
No. And that's been a pretty good addition to the game. We've seen what happens when that isn't there.
The old Cinderhawk stills were always the worst.
Nah, they really were. So you look back towards the top lane, both of them going back and forth at each other and going a little bit in favor of Shadow there. Oh, actually, wait, back in the bottom lane, reels the Twitch in and takes him down to below 50% HP. Now towards the middle half. Ooh, that hurts. 1, 2, 3, 4. May go for the kill. Wait a second. No way. Picks it up. Aquatic Darks is going to be a draw kill. But he's able to make it a 1-for-1. Not even 3 minutes on the clock. Now on the top lane. Blythe's looking to answer that right on towards Shadow. Able to get away with the flash. Now it's going to be Rengar coming up. Trying to get a kill on towards the tree. Knock it down. A few hits to come through. Not able to get the trade kill. There's the flash forward. It will go over to Shadow on that one. Taken low on this one. Will he get taken out? Siguri will be able to answer as it's a back and forth. Then towards the bottom lane. Lands the hook in the invisibility. They know exactly where the Twitch is. A few more hits to come through. The trade from hindsight might just be good enough. Hasn't thrown the expunge down just yet. There it is. Not able to get the kills. It gets straight right back as Tyrannos picks up the kill. Back and forth as this game's a polar opposite from the last. Already 6 kills on the board.
That was just an explosive minute right there. Holy. That was an excellent blind hook by the Blitzcrank.
Back and forth action from these two teams in the second game. To put it one way for sure, not going to be able to land that hook, but that's the first one that he's missed.
Hey man, you miss 100% of the hooks you don't throw.
Exactly. Breaking down exactly what just happened, little by little. Let's focus on top lane. Exactly what was going good for the situation in Cryos.
Well, definitely on Kryo's part, they win the 2v2 top.
Mm.
Yes, Orange is an unstoppable monster, but when you got Kane and a Yorick beating on you, or especially early game, yeah, you're gonna die to that. I mean, yes, the Ivern has shields, but he hasn't built up any magic power yet, or ability power, my bad. So he has not been able to get huge shields or huge damage out with any of his Qs or his shield explosions.
Definitely the case in a rare moment where we get to see an animation in progress here as a pause comes through. Yeah, definitely the 2v2 was a lot stronger for Cryos Phoenix in that top lane. Being able to use the Kane to pretty good effectiveness, able to get the kills. Looking towards the bottom half, as you said, very good blind hook out of Tyrannos on this Blitzcrank performance, and this game is much better out of Cryo so far.
Oh, definitely. This is the first time they've had a gold lead.
Yeah, might just be looking for more. Seagray taken low, but not taken out.
As you can see, that he can just insta-E the walls. Not too great at being able to lock him down.
Absolutely. It looks like Cryos aren't going to stop there. They might just be looking for the play in the bottom lane. As we hover right back up top lane. They both take a lot of damage. Nothing more to come of it, though. Nemo is pretty on point with these tornadoes so far in the series. We did not quite touch over it, but a flash coming in from Tyrannos about a minute or two ago did prevent another gank from Mimo with these Janna tornadoes, looking like a much more active Janna player than what one might expect.
She's definitely paying attention. She's not just giving them the old AFK e-girls type of support.
The AFK e-girl.
I call it the Barbie special.
The Barbie special. Okay, throwing in hit annoying nips there, but so are Pipin throwing a hit towards Cryos. One more hit would do it. They make sure, at least they try to bring it over to the Twitch. Try and go for the other kill. Not going to be able to pick up Halsey on this one. However, it's a kill right on the board for Blight.
The bot lane just had no wood. They should not have been pushed up that far.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have. But looking at the CS numbers here, it looks about even for the most part. And except for the mid lane, 59 to 47. Coming in for Aquatic Dark. Performing well on this Cassiopeia pickup, even though it is dead even in the kills.
Definitely, I'd say it's an even matchup everywhere. I feel like nobody's really gotten the lead over anybody.
What do you feel that it takes for that lead to suddenly explode into a big advantage?
I would say you gotta either get some more kills on Twitch or get some more kills on Orianna. Because top lane's just gonna be a brawl at all times. Giving either one a lead, they're still just gonna be brawling up there. That's just the way it's always gonna be with a Yorick 1 match. It's just good old fight non-stop 24/7.
That would indeed appear to be the case in the Yorick or in a matchup. In the bottom half, I would want to see a few more moves. It's been quiet down here the whole series. Not much has happened.
No, it's had a few skirmishes every now and then, but nothing too crazy like last game where they were having 4v4s in the bot lane.
That hitbox was a little sketchy hitbox coming through for Halsey, to put it one way. As the top laners are going back at it. Shadow, you're not taking the winning end of this trade, but he's got his jungler up there with him. Towards the bottom lane, they will be able to get the damage on towards hindsight. Back up top lane. Rengar is going to be able to pick up a kill onto Seagray. Now in the middle half, they're making some moves here, making the Cassiopeia turn into a statue herself as Gowian picks up a kill.
It's always good to get your mid laner fed, especially when it's an Orion, which you can just hit those big Orion ultis later in the game.
Just actually managed to land the hook there, but decides to pop the spray and pay right afterwards. True Shot Barrage will rattle out, but nothing much to come of it. We head back up in the top lane, able to charge away out of the Ornn, but may look for more here. Igray is pretty tanky. Those are two low health members of Kryo's. Not going to go for the chase.
Oh, looks like Kane and York are busy doing the Rift Herald. Probably going to be dropping that to York because he's just going to be. I feel like he's just going to be split pushing most of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a stronger footing in this game than the last for Kryo's Phoenix. It doesn't look like it's necessarily too out of control. I am going to want your thoughts on the bottom lane. It's been getting a little more active with hooks landing. How exactly do you think Piping has to play it out in order to get the advantage in the 2v2?
If they can just dodge... Honestly, if they can dodge the hooks and Janna can land some good knockups, then once the hook is dodged, Twitch will just have free range to start firing away with his ultimate.
But do you rely on the Jan Tornado or do you rely on the Ivern? Looks like you rely on the Ivern. It will be Tiernos blocking the stun to set up from there, but there's the Venomous Cask. There's the slow right after. A Zephyr on top of it. Expunge couldn't be any easier. Blight picks up the kill anyway. They might just look for more onto its Tyrannos. No, they won't. Mountain looks perfect at the moment.
I don't know. Looks like Kane is hovering around there. Might be going for a steal if they try. Or just a straight out brawl.
Steal, for Piping have the zone control on this one. Do have to be careful. Rengar can get into the pit pretty easily. Does not need to use flash over. Could just use flash out. Decided to go for the dragon. It looks like that pressure alone is enough to repel Piping from deciding to go for it.
Jaina was low there. Ivan was a little on the low side.
Oh my lord, wait a second, almost picks up the kill! Not able to get it because of the shield! Cassiopeia is a ridiculous Aquatic Dark playing the champion pretty good so far.
Oh yeah, he definitely looks like he knows his Cassio.
Definitely looks like Kryos are looking for the kills. Can they find it? There's the Humble Trespass, but are there enough shields? There's the Janus shield, the knockup, and the redemption out of Piping Esports. Teamwork does indeed make the dream work, because the Rift Herald's not going to be able to claim the turret.
So close. Those shields were just no fun for you.
No fun at all. Definitely ambitious. The very least coming out of Piping Esports, diving in between two turrets at this stage of the game. Probably not the greatest of ideas. Back towards the bottom lane. Hindsight forced a flash on moment.
He is just so good at making Twitch blow those flashes as soon as they're up. His hooks have definitely just been on point this entire game.
He really is, and Aquatic Dark definitely forcing Gowian to use his abilities early on, as we just saw forced to use Command to Attack and Dissonance, even though he wasn't in range. There's the poison. Have to be very careful when that Noxious Blast is able to land. Now in the bottom lane, though, this has been where Piping's been all game. There's the knockup, there's the fly through, the silence. Will it be able to do enough to save his teammate? No, it won't. That's one more kill going over towards Piping, and not the greatest of stopwatches. Will probably seal Tyrannus' own fate right there. Coming through, Hindsight finally picks up a kill in the bottom lane.
Oh, you got Kane, Yorick, and all them rotating down. They might be trying to get a kill
They're
back.
looking to make a play, avenge their teammates on towards this one. Hindsight pops out of invisible with the ambush. It's the stun right afterwards, but not enough as Aquatic Dark gets run over by the Orn car. Few more hits to do as Egray picks up the kill on towards Rengar. Shadow's not going to be any exception to that. One more hit would do it. A double kill for Egray's True Shot Barrage will rattle through the entire team, but not pick up a single kill.
They tried to bite off way more than they could chew there. I think Rengar is just a little too aggressive trying to go through those walls for plays as Kane when he doesn't have really any tanky items yet. Actually, he's building straight damage.
Is building straight damage. It looks like it's backfiring for them. The Dragon will be going over to Piping Esports. The steal not going to work out from Tyrannos. While the gold may tell a different story, Piping Esports are in full control.
Oh yeah, once again, they are getting the advantages and they are starting to run away with them. Yeah, they're similar in Gold League, but that's because, once again, they got some turrets on them. But I'm sure when they start winning these team fights, they'll get them back.
Definitely the case. After that Game 1, very calm and controlled. A little surprising to see they don't have a single turret on the board just yet, but that will change most certainly as the game progresses for Piping. Right now, though, Kryo's Phoenix looking for another play in the bottom lane. It's just a 3v2. The hook's not going to be able to land, nor will the knockup. The slow will be able to, though, as the damage is flying in and towards Mimo. Gets taken down that one. Rengar picks up the kill, but it's going to be Gowie on the rotation, not able to respond in time, as Kryo's pick up the one kill and walk away scot-free.
No, it was a good dive. Clean.
Good dive. The top players might be going on this one as they throw down their ultimates. It looks like it's Egray that's in trouble on towards this one. Hold on a second. It's actually going to be Shadow that gets taken out. Doesn't even need to use the flash. Still decides to use it as Egray picks up the solo kill back towards the bottom lane. Cryos are looking to make the play down here. The turret's taking the damage, but the minion wave is not quite there for them. There's the shockwave coming through. Not able to pick up the kill as Aquatic Dark looks to answer right afterwards. They will shut down the Twitch as Hindsight gets taken out.
That was definitely just great castle out there. Really turned that. It went from nearly losing a teammate to getting the 80 carry. It's always a great thing to kill.
Definitely the case. Hindsight not sitting at the greatest CS this game so far. 97, 17 minutes in. Has had a rougher time on the Twitch than Tristana in this matchup. But the gold, even though there's been so much action back and forth, it is dead even right now.
It's definitely those extra kills are keeping them in the gold lead. Or not gold lead, but in the game gold-wise.
Keeping them the gold lead. Looking to make those numbers go even higher. Shadow's in all sorts of trouble and not able to get away at all. There's the shield just to guarantee the assist. It's going to go over to Hindsight on this one, picking up his third kill of the game.
Just keep giving those kills to Hindsight. Make the Twitch a monster.
Making the Twitch a monster. Getting your AD carry fed, also not a bad strategy to do your best to win the game and take the series 2-0 before you go home. Albeit most of their attempts have failed, as the 3-1-7 Blight Ivern once again with a strong performance on this champion.
Oh yeah, he knows his Ivern. It seems like he's very experienced on the champion, knows how to play him very well.
Absolutely. I feel like it's going to take a really big play out of Aquatic Dark for them to be able to make a move here. However, It looks like Tyrannos is on the flank. There's the flash silence to knock up the Ornn. Try and pick up a kill on him. They will be able to do so as the Cassiopeia ultimate comes flying afterwards. But that's going to put you right in the front line for the shockwave to line up. Galleon picking up the kill. Mimo with another as Piping started rolling through. That is 2 kills coming down. Looking for more as the turrets finally start dropping for Piping.
There it is. Team fight, take turrets. What they did last game, what they're doing now.
Different game, same story for Piping. It may not be as dominant as the hook comes through right towards Mimo. It's not going to be able to secure a kill at all, though. His Piping not going to stop the chase just yet. Hindsight might be in trouble. They're doing their best to get the Twitch out, and they will be able to do so. Unless they do back off.
If I was that one, I'd be screaming Worth right now. They threw everything they had them. They did finally kill him, but his team got kills as well as 2 towers and almost an inhibitor tower. Definitely, I would say a worthy death.
A worthy death indeed, and uh-oh, might just be in trouble. Decides against it to throw the hook. You know, I'm looking at this matchup, and it feels like Kryo should be a little bit more ahead than they actually are, but they aren't.
Well, it's all just Ezreal really wasn't able to be in that fight because he was caught out on the side, so he had to run away rather than be able to be in the back and just dish out the damage that he wants to do.
Absolutely.
I didn't help them in that at all. And plus,
Didn't help much.
they threw almost everything they had straight at the Owen right away, and they still took their sweet time killing him just because, once again, it's Owen. He's just a monster.
Absolutely. Piping Esports trying to sneak the Baron Nashor here. They turn around and try and pick up the kill on towards Rengar, but it's not going to work out the way they want to. Can just dash through the wall and get out all too easily. There's the tornado on the side. Blast cone away. Hook might be coming through here from Tyrannos. Decides to pick his target. Attajana flashes away just in the nick of time as the call of the Forge Guard comes through from the entire team! Oh my lord! It's not going to be able to secure a kill right off the bat, but here comes Hindsight with the spray and pray, gets stunned up right afterwards. Kryo's Phoenix doing a good job to prevent as many members as possible from dying here. Galleon picks up only a single kill, but what an engage coming out of Piping.
Oh, that's the Ornn ult you see in your dreams right there, just all 5.
Down the line from Seagray on this one. The siege to come after also. The defense from Kryos, it was good, but not good enough here. Miasma thrown down to try and pick up some damage, but the Shockwave looks all too better. Won't be able to pick up the kill on Aquatic right afterwards, as the Kryos are forced to give the inhibitor up.
Well, dude, they just rinse and repeating.
Rinse and repeat might just be the case. Halsey's going down this one. They're running right into the enemy team. Finally, it looks like they will stop as another kill goes over. 8-17 on the board now. A 4,000 gold lead for Piping Esports. And the plan couldn't be easier. Back and Baron, I'd say.
Oh yeah, they definitely have the lead. Ezreal down right now. Gonna have to clear out Vision, of course. Or is...
Ooh, a desperate Baron out of Kryos. Phoenix here might be on the cards. It's only blind in the area. Has the flash to go over the wall and could definitely steal it. Has the level advantage as well over the Kane. It will be going over to Kryos. Phoenix secured and sneaked away on that one.
I like the bush there with 5 wards in it.
Yeah, not too bad. It looks like Mimo might be in trouble now. Taken low. Not taken out, though, is the True Shot Barrage. Once again, rattling across. But a sneaky Baron is exactly what Kryos need to get back into this match.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to help them not be... be fought when it comes to a team as easily. It's really going to help Yorik's pushing power.
Now I have a question for you, GVG, but we'll get back to that right in a second. Looks like Mimo trying to get away from this one. Will be able to knock him back out. Shadow once again in trouble as the Call of the Forge God will make a left turn, not quite hit on towards its target. They're expending a lot of resources here as the Shovel's able to pick up the kill. The flash forward coming out towards them, but it's not going to matter at all. Hindsight coming through with a triple kill at the spray and pray. A quadra kill coming in for Hindsight.
That was just disgusting. The 4-man Tristana ult, or Oriana ult, right into the, just spray and pray on all of them. That was just, that's the team fight you want to see in your dreams right there. That was just perfect. Everybody was getting hit by everything.
Absolutely. A massive turnaround on a fight that did not look like it would go in favor of Piping Esports. They might just be looking for more here. A little ambitious to go for this Nexus start as the members of Kryo's Phoenix start rolling through. They can pick up the Twitch. That would be big. Keep your eyes on the hook from Tyrannos. Looking for it. Has an idea as to where the Twitch is. Decides to not go for it. They still want to punish Piping on this one. There's a knock up in silence. But how much will it matter? The Shockwave reels in too as the Tornado knocks him up right afterwards. A double kill going over towards Gowian as Piping Esports might have just been gifted the game on a silver platter.
Oh, I think they can definitely end the game here. One turret left to take. They got a super minion.
One less Nexus turret than before. The quadra kill reeling in from Hindsight. A few more hits to come through. The Nexus now exposed 20 seconds before Aquatic Dark is back up on this one. All its focus is on the Nexus. Few more hits to come out of Piping Esports, and while Kryo's Phoenix put up a much better fight this game, it wasn't good enough. 9 to 24, 26 minutes on the clock. Piping Esports 2-0 Kryo's Phoenix.
That was just, their team fights were just on point every time.
Every time, indeed, and while, like I said, Kryo's making many more successful moves in the early game here, just not enough. Not enough of the right moves to work out of Kryo's Phoenix, and more than enough of the right moves coming out of Piping Esports to 2-0 and join the 2-0 club, joining both Roar and I believe Noinep so far for the 3 teams that are currently undefeated in the Duo Esports.
You want to move ourselves over to the total damage champions draft and just look at really who was doing the damage in the fights.
Well, I think that's not too much of a surprise here, but moving over to said damage, 17.5k on the nose for Gowian in the middle lane, 16k on the Twitch, 15k on Zigray himself on the sword and pickup. Definitely some strong stuff coming through out of all of the members on Piping.
Man,
keeping the games pretty quick.
When the Owen is only 1,000 damage under your ADC, oh, such a monster champion.
Definitely the case. If we're going to scroll down to the next statistic of the healing done, I think it should be no surprise who wins out here. But a whopping 12.1k coming out of Mimo on this Janna pickup. Following shortly after 6.5k on the Ivern, 6.4k on Rengar himself here. But still, all in all, great stuff out of Piping Esports. As we check the last statistic that we need to check, the wards placed.
Oh, look at that. Supports equal in wards placed.
Supports equal 21 to 21 for the wards. Both of them doing an excellent job throughout the game, but all in all, it was Piping Esports with more wards on more of their members. Be it the 15 wards, not bad coming out of the Oriana whatsoever.
If we look at control wards, neither Ornn nor Ivern bought a single control ward this entire game, or Yorick. They were all 3 control wardless.
Control board less. Sitting at most people here are sitting at 3 though, so that's relatively good, but the game was very quick though, so still no excuse to not get the control awards. But all in all, maybe a consideration for the next game, next series to come through. And I think we can start talking about who we might give the 3-letter word for who we think did best.
I mean, that Ivern, I'd say it's gotta be either the Ivern, the Ori, or the Twitch. All three of them just stellar every game.
Definitely a stellar performance coming out of Piping Esports. Here, Ivern in the chat here. And I think I have to agree, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, that Ivern, he just was running the show. He was
Running
everywhere
the show
he needed to
here.
be.
Out of Blight, I think we can safely say that he has performed the most successful out of the series here, and I think, we all have some questions. How do you play Ivern that well? Well, only one way to find out.
Like me to go ask if he would like to be interviewed.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be polite about it.
I'm just gonna tell him to get his ass in here.
I'm just going to bring him in here. Simple, done. Hello there, Mr. Ivern.
Oh, hey.
Welcome. You are MVP because your Ivern was stellar.
Oh, well, thank you.
Absolutely. So, taking the series 2-0, clean sweep in convincing fashion against Kryo's Phoenix. How does it feel?
Oh, I mean, pretty easy. Feels good. We just had our rotations down pretty well for it. Hold on. Alright. Yeah, the Oriole definitely helped out a lot and changed the flow of that and got rid of their Baron, so it was a big part of that game.
Oh yeah, that 4-man Ori ulti was pretty disgusting. Right into the Twitch ulti.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I'm going to toss a question at you on this one. Why do you whip out the Ivern?
Why I whip out the Ivern? Because I keep my ADC alive. He has a habit of going a little aggressive.
It's always good to keep them alive.
He's never banned, really, so whatever.
Seems like a very strong performance out of Piping Esports. My last question before GVG might have one to toss to you. You feeling this momentum into the regular split?
Sorry, what?
Are you feeling this momentum for Piping Esports into the regular split? Any bold predictions you want to throw out there?
No, I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. We'll see.
Fair enough. Modesty is always appreciated. Do you have any questions, GVG?
No, just Ivern was very clean. Knew what you were doing with it. I could tell. Definitely, you seemed to put on quite the performance.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That is the jungler for Piping Esports, ladies and gentlemen, Blight. It's a pleasure having you here. Doors on the left.
Alright, goodbye.
So, guys, dropping in real quick, wanted to drop a little bit of an advertisement for the Gathering of Warriors coming on Wednesday.
Oh my God.
We got some spicy Gathering of Warriors events. Remember, free agents, they get to go first automatically. And by the way, just another small reminder, we're also working on a prototype for a Rift Race event. And we're hoping that we might be able to hash it by that next Wednesday. Thanks, guys, for letting me chime in for a quick second. Really appreciate that. I could tell by your groans you were super interested in hearing what I had to say. See you guys, and by the way, Army Overlord was your cameraman.
He's letting as if we allowed him to do it.
Forced
All in
him.
all, joining me on the casting desk was none other than
GVG, top lane of Naughty Nips. What up?
with an insightful color cast, I might add that. I was your host / play-by-play caster, Blaze. It was excellent having you, and this is a great way to round out Week 1 for Duo Esports. We'll be seeing you next in Week 2 to see which teams can make strong performances and make them count. See you next time.